Hi guys, welcome to another session of Rappler Live Jam. I'm Vernice. Tonight we have the cast of Repertory Philippines Hair. So of course we have Marky Strom who plays Claude. Hi. We also have Alfritz Blanche who plays Hood. Maron Cruz who plays Genie. Franco Ramos as Wolf. And then we have the tribe with us. So Azel Marcelo is here and Luis Marcelo as well, no relation. Kyla Sung, Kenny Isidoro. And then on guitars, we have Jordan Amaka, Jerome Naval on bass, and Mark Hipona on percussions. Hi, guys. Welcome to Rappler. Welcome back, Marky.
Oh, thanks for having me. Thanks for having me again. What am I doing? I didn't have a microphone. I thought I was talking. Anyway, thank you for having me again. It was awesome being here last time with the Jersey Boys.
Yes,
and now
of
it's
course.
great to be here in a different time era. Yeah. 60s. Swinging 60s.
So you guys had your first show last Friday, actually, for Hair. How was it? How has it been?
Awesome.
Go,
That's all
go.
I have to say was awesome. This show gives us such an unstoppable kind of energy. Once we start with Act 1, it just keeps going and going until the end of Act 1, and then before we know it, we're like exhausted, but we don't realize it while we're doing it. So it's like this show in itself is a trip for us as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically going through the life and times of the hippies back in the 60s, and you know, we didn't compromise anything of the story. We really took it back to the time machine to the 60s and really focused on how they lived, how they ate, how they interacted with each other, and it was a great experience learning from our director how each and every single one of our characters lived together as a tribe.
So I introduced all of you guys as your characters, but can you tell us like what actually happens in this play that's set in the 60s?
Well, Marky.
Well, I have to like bleep out a lot of the details, but the show is basically talks about it's during the time of the Vietnam War, and it was kind of like a protest piece for the hippies back in the day, where there were the youth who were sent over to Vietnam to fight, and they were dying for no apparent reason. They didn't have any training. They didn't have any formal training. They were just sent there to fight against communist Vietnam at the time. And the hippie said, "Why is there's killing? Why are there killings like this? We should all make love. We should make peace. We shouldn't be fighting. And death should not be, you know, part of this this war that they have for younger kids." Marin, would you like to expound further?
Yeah, so the show starts off with an introduction of the hippie tribe and what their ideals are, how they are against things like racial oppression, war, just all these things that explain that hippies are all about freedom, kindness, and love. So Act 1 is mostly that. And then we're introduced to Claude, who is a new member of the tribe, who is the symbol of innocence, purity, kind of the everyman in a small way. And we are introduced to his dilemma, which is he's unsure as to whether or not he wants to enlist in the military to partake in the Vietnam War. So,
and it's great because it's kind of like a back in the hippie times when they were fighting for a cause. In this day and age, the hipsters or the millennials are also fighting for a cause, but now they have an online platform as opposed to our protesting with our banners back in the day.
So the millennials are the
new
hippies, the hippies of today.
It's the new age of Aquarius.
Speaking of Aquarius, it's your first song for tonight.
Yes.
Can you tell us what happens when you sing this song? What's going on in the musical when you perform this song?
Well, at this point, it's actually the induction of Claude. My character's name is Claude, and he is actually an Aquarian. And he is inducted into this wonderful tribe of hippies and, well, free spirits, essentially, during the time. And he's birthed into this world of love, freedom, happiness. And it's basically the beginning of this wonderful story. So, Aquarius.
according to astrology, the age of Aquarius is also supposed to symbolize a great shift in the world. Yeah, so it's like it's still the age of Aquarius right now, I believe. So it's attributed to like just revolutionizing the world and all that great stuff.
Exactly.
All right, let's hear it. This is Aquarius by the cast of Hair.
When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planet, and love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius.
Harmony and understanding,
Sympathy and trust abounding,
no more false nor derision.
golden living dreams of vision.
Mystic crystal revelation, and the mind's true liberation. Aquarius.
When the moon is in the seventh house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, and peace will guide the planet,
And love will steer the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the age of Aquarius.
Hi,
Go,
guys.
Genie.
If you are just joining us now, that was the cast of Hair with Aquarius. I forgot to introduce Barbara Jans. She is part of the tribe earlier. I'm sorry about that. This is Barbara. So you guys earlier were talking about how this is set a musical that's set in 1960s America. Obviously, we are not in the 1960s, nor are we in America. So how did you guys prepare for your roles for this musical?
Let's start with Aquarius herself. Just kidding. That's me. Shoot. Oh no. I guess I'll start. Well, my character basically is the guy who hasn't really entered this tribe yet. He's new. He's trying to figure out his place in this lifestyle choice. Essentially, I had to look to find a backstory to the character to understand where he comes from, and we had sessions actually. Me and Jeannie, me and Marin, me and Sheila, Kaiza, yeah, and George. We basically sat down and talked about where we were coming from, and we realized that there was actually someone, a predecessor before us, before our tribe leader, whose name is Michael. It's so funny, right? Anyway, so there's this Michael is very interesting in this whole scheme of things because he's the one who basically started the tribe, and it's actually not part of the script, but we figured out like a kind of backstory to where we come from, so that when we enter this start of in the middle of me entering this tribe, we know exactly where our characters come from and why they are there in the first place. Because you can't go and just read the script and just be there, like magically landed there like, from aliens, you know. You have to come from somewhere. And I think that's how each and every single one of us built our characters, through previous experiences. For me, for example, how I looked at my character was my parents. I was this perfect kid. And my parents were kind of like watching me as this perfect kid. And then I decided that one day, you know what? I don't want to live under this roof anymore. I don't want to follow you. I don't want to join the draft. I don't want to be part of this stupid war. I want to find something special for myself. And where am I going to go? And how am I going to continue this? And I found this beautiful tribe who welcomed me with open arms. So that is kind of where my backstory is. And I can't talk about how it ends, but watch, please, watch Hair and understand where this character comes from, because he's, you know, the son of God.
I add. Apart from, building the individual backstories per character, because the script doesn't really mention any specific backstory for anyone at all. But aside from that, I also think it's important that people, we're not in America, but this show is about something that is set in the Vietnam War. And so I think it is important for people to understand what happened back then, so that we can hopefully, learn from history and not let hatred and greed spread again, so that we can avoid any mass killings, we can avoid bigger wars. And so Chris made sure that we had tons of in-depth research about the time period, and we actually present these bits of information in different ways in the show as well. So yeah.
And one thing na maganda rin sa tribe, well represented yung different type of people. Like me, my role is HUD. I play yung nag-represent sa Black American dun sa story. And then yung role na Wolf, si Franco meron siyang represent na group of people dun sa story. So very very diverse yung tribe. So that's a thing that they should watch out in watching Hair. How do a tribe composed of different type of people, how are they going to share love and spread peace and happiness? So yun. Well, that's one thing.
Well, it sounds like there are a lot of themes in this play that are still pretty relevant today.
Yeah, and we also look back in the history books to understand LBJ, the president at the time, who was the root cause of all of these problems, of all of these deaths. Ring any bells?
Okay. Your next song.
Moving on to happier times, to the sunshine.
Actually, it's funny because it's a pretty upbeat play, but then you deal with really serious themes as well. So your next song for us is actually Good Morning Starshine. So what is going on here?
Oh, Marky.
She's playing the guitar actually for this song and doing a wonderful job.
Did you learn the guitar just for this song?
No, I already knew how to play the guitar beforehand, but I'm not really a guitar player in that legitimate sense. So I did technically have to do a lot of practice still. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's going on with this song?
Come on, Marky.
Okay, it's really hard to explain this song without giving too much away, because it's actually at a very integral portion of the story. But let's say it's the last time where we get to spend time together as a tribe, potentially the last time. And this is where we are at a campfire. It's like our campfire song, just to ease the situation and love and spread happiness and joy around the campfire. There you go.
All right.
That's all I could share. Sorry,
It's
a
okay.
really
It's okay. No
integral
spoilers.
part.
It's fine.
No spoilers. Come
Yes.
watch. You'll enjoy.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Take it away.
Good morning, starshine. The earth says hello. You twinkle above us, we twinkle below. Good morning, starshine. You lead us along, my love and me, as we sing our early morning singing song. Glitty glop, glooby, dibby, dabby, doobie, la la la, lo lo.
Hi guys, if you're just joining us now, that was the cast of Hair with Good Morning Starshine, super feel good song.
Yeah.
If you guys want to hear more, Hair is going to be running until December 17 at the Onstage Theater at Greenbelt, and you can grab your tickets at ticketworld.com.ph. So you guys have already started running the show, and it's the last play, I believe, for Rep this year, your 50th year, and this is a play from Broadway from the 60s. Was there any pressure, or were you guys nervous at all about presenting this show?
Okay, so this show talks, talks about the hippies in the 60s. And back then, there were things that weren't really fully understood. Oh, this is such a hard question to answer without using
I think what Mark
censor
is
sensitive.
Yeah,
No, but it was a time for people back in
discover
the
things.
to discover
Things.
this age of discovery, the age of opening one's mind to what is new and what is beautiful, and discovering oneself. And there are some themes that are delicate, MTRCB, delicate. So we obviously had to go into our head and understand that the political situation at this time in the Philippines, and understand how people perceive some of the hippie
Misinformation.
culture. And we had to really inform them that this is characters, these are people, actors playing roles of people from back then. So we researched these characters and understand where they came from and what they were. And as actors, we recreated each of these roles. And we had to understand that for ourselves, because it is actually it's very scary in this time and age to talk freely about topics that the hippies talked about back then. Let's just say that. And that's why a lot of us were maybe a bit scared to put this out there. And that's one of my qualms, one of my issues. But it's interesting that we were able to present this, because to a certain extent, it was a protest piece back in the day to stop unnecessary killings, unnecessary deaths in this world. And we would like to share that also with the Filipino people, for them to understand that, yes, we know that you're going through a tough time, but it has happened before, and they were able to come out of it stronger and as a better cohesive unit of people. And that's what this tribe was and is. Right?
Did you guys tweak anything for this specific play? Like, did you tweak it for,
For a local
give it,
audience.
yeah.
I don't, not particularly, since the themes, even though they are set in a Western setting, are very similar to themes that we are experiencing today. Not even just in the Philippines, but everywhere. As I said, racial oppression, unreasonable killings, unnecessary capitalism, greed, hatred that is just, for me, misdirected and unnecessary. And no, I didn't think we didn't tweak anything in particular. We stayed true to the show, because no matter where you are, no matter what period you came from, I think the idea of being free and being kind and doing whatever you want as long as you don't hurt anybody is something that's universal.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, because as the hippies back then protested for their revolt, this day and age, there are people like Maron who have actually put together a superhero, was it the cosplayers? And they're protesting online.
Can you tell us about that?
Tell us about that.
Oh my goodness. There it is. I was like lying low about it, but I did organize this unconventional thing that involved superheroes and costumes called a Hero's Call. Yes, it was covered for a bit, and yeah, that was it. That's my involvement.
A bit about what it is.
It's okay. The idea behind it was that if you've got a passion, you can use it for something good. You can use it to raise your voice, no matter what. And that is similar to what these hippies were doing. Yeah.
Check it out.
Yes, go. Where can we check it out?
Oh, the facebook.com/heroescallph.
And in terms of Hair, if we want to know anything more about the play, like any details, where can we go?
Anyone?
You can follow Repertory Philippines Facebook page. Details are there, and you can also check the hashtag. We do have an official hashtag. You can check the hashtag hair. Rep Hair 2017. Yeah.
Rep Hair 2017. Okay.
REP Hair 2017. Just in case.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are heading into your last song. It's called Walking in Space. Whoa, what is going on here?
Okay, we were
His
planning this
hallucination.
this answer since kanina pa. But yeah, this is actually, I'm having a hallucination because my character is actually based off of there are themes based off of the Bible, Jesus Christ and Hamlet. So it goes into the fact that he is destined for greatness or madness. And in this particular moment, he has hallucinations, and he sees his tribe mates
Transform.
enjoying themselves.
Okay.
And he has a hallucination, and he has a trip where he understands where his place is in the world and makes final decisions that needs to be decided.
Yeah.
That's Walking Space.
In addition to that, just a little context. Okay, I'm like trying not to spoil anything myself, but it's I don't think so. It's a testament to how.
It's hard. I tried. It's hard.
Okay, because one of the important lines in the song is, "How dare they try to end this beauty, and our eyes are open wide." It's a testament to how these people just wanted nothing but enlightenment. They wanted nothing but to understand humanity and to just bring humanity to a level of peace and camaraderie. And the scenes that happen after that song are very crucial in Claude's journey because basta. It's so hard not to talk about because
Alright.
the songs are so seamless with the scenes.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to discuss them without spoiling what happens next or anything like that. Yeah.
It's basically, the play is basically sung through.
Yeah.
It's There's a few dialogue scenes that take you into the next song, but it was a musical in the '60s. Like back in the day, it's just all songs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you guys want to find out,
Just watch.
yeah, just
Watch out. Watch hair.
Just watch.
Every Saturday and Sunday.
So
And of
Take-
course, there's we can watch out for
The guest artist.
the guest
Yeah, the guest
artists.
artists, yes.
There are guest
Guest
artists.
artists.
Wow, that was a save. Yes, watch out for the guest artists because there are different people who come and perform with us every time. Migayesa performed last Sunday. Morissette Amon came and performed with us. And
who can we look forward to?
Sheila Valderrama,
We have
um,
Abby
Kim
Sulit.
Molina.
Abby Sulit, Kim
Molina.
Molina. All different theater powerhouse
Just
singers
kidding.
who will be singing Aquarius. So watch out for that. That's good. Ima Castro. And of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
Go
Keep
ahead.
going.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Keep going. Yeah, and then there's one more small iconic scene in the show, which I would like to discuss as well. In Act 1, it's the Garden of Gethsemane scene where I figure out where do I go, what will I do, will I burn my draft card or will I not burn my draft card? And as a person who I just wanted to send praise forward to all of these amazing individuals next to me, because there is a scene at that point where they basically bare their souls and they bare themselves. They basically strip naked for the world in protest, and it's a beautiful scene. So watch out for hair.
How it's done?
Quick
watch and find
question.
out.
Yeah.
Given the themes in this musical, is there like an age limit? Like
Oh, yes.
who can
Yes.
watch the show?
It's rated R. It's R18. There were people asking me, their little kids.
It's R16.
R16. 16. 16.
16. So if you're 18, you can watch it. Actually, if you're 17, you
Yeah,
can
if
watch
you're
it
17,
too.
you can
Yeah.
watch it too. But 16-year-olds talk to your parents still, because it's very important. Some parents have different mindsets.
Yeah,
Especially
yeah.
in the Philippines, it's very conservative. So, there was a 13-year-old girl who came and it's just to educate yourself before coming to watch any show, not just hair, but any show that in the Philippines or around the world. it's integral that you know what you're getting into, because it's a story. It's like a movie that you're going to watch. So yes, if you're 16 and above, watch out for hair.
Yeah.
All right, this is your last song for us tonight, Walking in Space. Thank you guys so much for joining us, and thank you all for watching.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Doors locked.
Doors locked.
Lights pulled, blinds pulled.
Lights low.
Flame high.
Flames
My body.
My body is walking in space. My soul is in orbit with God, face to face. Floating, flipping, flying, tripping, dripping from Pottsville to mainline, dripping from mainline to Moonville.
On a rocket to the fourth dimension, total self-awareness, the intention.
My mind is as clear as country air. I feel my flesh, all colors bare.